Jeff Slauson here from 19 News Now at the 19 News Digital Desk. We have some breaking news following, or an update on the breaking news that we've been following for the last hour or so, or 2 hours essentially here. So at 2 o'clock, we got an update from the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office and Michael O'Malley. They were looking for Antonio Baker, who is believed to be involved in multiple shootings, is wanted in a murder investigation. And police say that the 17-year-old has turned himself in. Again, Baker was being looked for by police in connection to 3 shootings and a murder investigation. They put the call out at 2 o'clock. Michael O'Malley had said, the Cuyahoga County Prosecutor's Office had said, they've never in their history, at least his history in the prosecutor's office, needed to do this. But they were concerned for not only Baker's safety, but the safety of the public. And that is why they put out an alert to the public calling for him to surrender, or at least to help them find him. Ultimately, Baker decided to turn himself in. So he is in custody. The U.S. Marshals working with Cleveland police on this. They've taken him into custody, again accused in at least 3 shootings and involved, they believe, in 1 murder. Now, that he has surrendered, let's get into a little bit about what they've specifically said that this 17-year-old has done. They believe that he was involved in connection to a shooting on September 20th that killed somebody on a bike. This is at Arbor Park in the city's central neighborhood. One of the suspects was taken into custody. A third one was shot and killed in a separate shooting just a couple of days ago. They believe that Baker was also involved in a shooting on Monday, and that is when he took himself to the hospital. Once officers arrived, because they learned that that was Baker at the hospital, they decided to he decided to run away and continue away from there. I want to pull up kind of the full rap sheet that we have. This is available on our website at cleveland19.com. You can see here that March, April, kidnapping, aggravated robbery of a firearm. Then in August, attempted murder. August 20th, attempted murder. Shooting these victims multiple times, they say. September 20th, the aggravated murder. That is when the victim was riding a bicycle away from the playground and he was shot. They believe that Baker shot the victim along with 2 other suspects. And that person died. And then that's supposed to say October. I know it says August there, but it is October in the timeline. It is believed that Baker was shot near East 18th and St. Clair, and that is when he went to go to the hospital for his gunshot wound. Officers were called. He noticed that, and he fled. Since then, they've been looking for him, and today, the prosecutor's office sent the call out to everybody. They wanted him found, and they wanted him found quickly. I'm going to play you part of the press conference that was held earlier today from Cuyahoga County Prosecutor Michael O'Malley in this. I think it's interesting to hear the perspective and particularly why they had to put this call out to the public, given how dangerous they believed that he was.
In finding an individual, in particular an individual who in this case is a juvenile. But circumstances over the last 2 days have necessitated this press conference today because of the danger that this individual poses to our community and also the danger that I believe he is in as a result of his previous actions. Again, we need the public's help today in locating 17-year-old Antonio Baker. I want to stress that this is an emergency situation. Again, we do not normally disseminate juvenile information, but we are absolutely concerned for the public's safety. We need the public's cooperation, and we need to locate him, or it is very likely that there will be more individuals within the city of Cleveland who lose their lives, or in fact, Mr. Baker may lose his life. Antonio is a danger to the public. He currently has 4 active cases. As you can see from the easel, there was 2 incidents earlier this year where he was charged with aggravated robbery. Then on August 7th, he shot an individual 3 times in the abdomen. On August 20th, he shot another individual 6 times in the back. Finally, on September 20th, in Arbor Park, there was an individual riding a bicycle. Antonio Baker and 2 other individuals as the individual was riding away, and you'll see this video in a minute. But the individual was riding away on a bicycle, and the 3 individuals in the playground opened fire on this individual and shot him in the back and killed him. So in a nutshell, Antonio Baker, in the span of about 5 weeks, has shot 3 individuals. Additionally, on Monday night, we believe Antonio Baker himself was shot as he was at University Hospitals, was checking in or going into for some medical assistance as he was shot. But when police arrived at the scene, he fled. When I became aware of this information 2 days ago, that we had an individual with 2 attempted murder warrants and a murder warrant also, so 3 warrants for shooting people, I immediately called the U.S. Marshal and sought his assistance in trying to apprehend this individual, along with his 2 co-shooters from the September 20th shooting. Last night, as the U.S. Marshal Service and their deputies were scouring our community looking for these 3 individuals, and again, their ages are 15, 17, and 18. Antonio was 17. But while the marshals were looking throughout our community for this individual, the 15-year-old was shot and killed last night. That investigation continues, but what it did was highlight the fact that we need to get Antonio Baker off the street.
And that is exactly what happened. Antonio Baker, again, to repeat our breaking news here, has turned himself in following a press conference held by the Cuyahoga County's prosecutor's office. Again, this is the first time, according to Cuyahoga County prosecutor Michael O'Malley, that he has done something like this in his entire career. Yeah, that's a big deal. They believed that Antonio Baker was that dangerous that they needed the help of the public to get him off the streets. Ultimately, that call led to Baker turning himself in. U.S. Marshal Services, in connection to the Cleveland Police, bringing him into custody. Believed to be involved in 4 crimes, 3 shootings, 1 murder investigation, a long rap sheet for a 17-year-old. Still much to be known about the situation here, and specifically about what will happen. A separate part of this, which is something I'm going to be hitting on in a little bit here, the rise in juvenile crime rates, specifically when it comes to shootings that we're seeing here in the city of Cleveland and in Cuyahoga County. It is something that Michael O'Malley hit on, and it's something we're going to kind of expand upon and break down in the numbers. It's really troubling when you see just how many juveniles are not only involved in crime, but are being shot and killed as a result of that. Again, that is something we're going to be breaking down right here on 19 News coming up in a little bit on our digital platforms. But of course, we have 19 News continuing for the next hour or so over on CBS, so we'll see you over there. For now, I'm Jeff Slauson with 19 News. Have a great day and great night. Repeating our breaking news, Antonio Baker turning himself in. Much more on this story and others of the day on air and online.
19 News, now streaming on Samsung Smart TV. Search for Channel 1035.